Good morning. Okay, this is weird. Two cameras. I don't like two cameras. It's actually not two cameras. It's just my YouTube is on another monitor. It's really disconcerting. I'm going to try and move it over to be somewhere where I can look you in the eye. It is Monday, September 15th at 8:44 a.m. And I'm going to go deeper. There we go. Oh, that was a bright screen. I have a new monitor. It's massive. I got given it yesterday by my daughter's partner. It was very nice of him. He wasn't using it, and so I end up with it, and it's rather large for my small room. I would show you, but that means moving my computer, and I think that's all locked into different power systems. Anyway, what did I call this? Something. I'm taking questions, it says. Oh, that's right, going deeper. So, my preoccupation with trying to explain nonsense. It's just a preoccupation. It's something I enjoy, something I do. I read way too much. I overthink incredibly, and I enjoy it. The trouble is, some of the people I interact with, specifically the mother of my children, uh, they go a certain way, and then they go, "No, not doing that. Can't hear that. Don't need that." And it's like, yeah, I understand. I mean, I truly, truly understand how uh, disconcerting it is to have all your dreams and wishes just pulled away, just gone. So, but that's just in so I'll go and refer to well, specifically specifically the hero's journey. I'm only saying that because it's a simplistic circle where you have a dark night of the soul, which means that the revelation on your hero's journey, I don't even like the name hero, because we're all our own hero, really. But that explains it a lot. So again, if you don't read all of the book, or the books or the lessons of people like, oh God, I'm not comfortable this morning. Um, it's and I'm not to say that any one person or any one train of thought that I'm going down all these rabbit holes of conspiracy theory, if that's what you want to label it. But the thing is, all I'm doing is accumulating knowledge from people's previous experiences and what they wanted to do to make the world a better place. And I do it through my music a lot, music and poetry. I'm doing a poetry reading on Thursday in South Pasadena, and you can find links and stuff. Actually, I think the opening picture of this is, it's on my Facebook page. You'll see if you want to look for Tunnel Mental or Nigel R. Mitchell, or Instagram. I'm posting stuff constantly, but I am shadow banned, and so it looks like, oh, he's not got any followers, he's nobody, which is good because I am nobody, but I'm also everybody because I'm doing the same as you are, which is enjoying the aspect of growing as we live rather than shrinking as we live. And I think that I'm 69 years old. I am probably shrinking actually physically, but I'm growing spiritually. And that's the whole point, isn't it, really? I mean, if you don't understand that we're having a human experience and we are spiritual beings, eternal. I mean, hard concept for anybody to grasp, and I understand that. Um, but we are eternal beings. We're eternal spirits having a human experience, and the experience is a left, right, up and down. It's a duality, and so when we experience it and we become our spiritual being, which we were before we were born, and we will be after we're dead. So if we understand that this little tiny slice of your actual being, oh gosh. But trying to explain the nonsense when the gloves are off, everything's off, it's all off the table, everything off the table. That was a podcast friend that I went on his podcast who was quite brilliant, but he too got overwhelmed, sadly, and didn't go on. But he had a podcast called EOTT, Everything on the Table. He wanted all the veils dropped, and in the end, he took his own life, which I think is sad. I mean, I think it's incredibly sad when anybody dies, and but we all die, so that's an authentic sadness. But he took his own life, which I don't think was a very good thing to do, because there are many around him who needed him to be there for them, the same as I'm there for you. And so I'll be as long as I can, healthy and happy and having fun with this human experience. And you just got to keep fit. I went for a long bike ride yesterday, and that was fun and kept me fit. I live in a city that never sleeps. It does sleep. I live in a city that has infinite variety of places to go. And I went and visited my daughter, and she lives nearer the beach than I do. So I took my bike and cycled to the beach area and the coastal area of Los Angeles. And that was fun. That was like, wow, I live here. And things just happen. They happen. If your mindset is to live, love, life, things come into your life that are loving and caring and living, and you're actually experiencing, because you're in the moment. On Friday night, I was in the moment. I had a really great show at a place called Sunspace, which is really close to me, a little venue, and it's lovely. And I met dancers and singers and musicians and technicians and all sorts, and it was so good. It was so much fun, and it just continued. I mean, my Saturday was wonderful. My Sunday was wonderful. And it's Monday, and I'm woohoo still a little tired. I got woke early this morning. Somebody texted me early on, somebody I love very much. They texted me to say they were having a bad night's sleep, and then thought about it afterwards and realized that I would probably leave my phone near me, just in case somebody needed help. So that woke me, but I couldn't go back to sleep. And they text me saying, "Oh, sorry, did I wake you? I'm going back to sleep. Maybe we can chat later." And I couldn't get back to sleep. So It's just some some ways of interaction are uh, interacting in today's society are a bit intrusive. But that's what we should be doing. We should be intrusive in each other's lives. We should be saying how much that we know, we do know that love is God. That's it. Unconditional love is God. That's I don't need all the books. I don't need all the understanding. I don't need any of the conspiracy theories and ancient Egyptian texts, and to go back to 4 5,000 years when the idea of a controlled religious state was going to grow out of the Euphrates Delta and control people. I don't I know that history, but I don't need that history to understand here that love is God. That's it. So to live, love, life is to understand it. So I'm taking questions, but there's nobody in the chat because people don't interact unless they need to or want to. And I understand that too. I do also believe that what I'm saying is, and what I'm putting in my music and what I'm putting in my art is not what some people who run some of the technology that I'm using uh, on social media, they don't really want me to be saying the things I'm saying. I'm saying turn it off, get out in nature, go out and meet people, interact. They want you in here staring at this or this. They don't want you out understanding each other. They want you in explaining how to understand each other. So when I tell people to get out and meet people and do things, to interact with other humans, it's not a command. It's advice. What was it? One of my best mates' daughters, when she was younger, teenage, she used to make up words by mashing two words together. So all I'm doing is making suggestments. That's comments and suggestions put together, suggestments, and entirely up to you what you do. And that's something that empowers all of us, is that self will, that self empowerment. I read great pieces by great people, but it's all about empowering yourself. I mean, I could promote them just as easily as I promote myself with my band Tunnel Mental and my music that I write with various other people and perform with various other people, and try and allow that artistic freedom to be part of the whole. That artistic freedom, the creative part of our being, is to be nurtured, and so we can understand how it is to be a conscious co-creator with the creator, who we will meet at the end of our human experience. I believe that. I believe that we have our own conscience and our own consciousness. And at the end of our human experience, we go into the greater consciousness. And that is forever. That's an eternal flow. Okay. I know. One has to believe in things, you see, because what we believe, we bring forth. What we believe, we bring forth. What we do, we encounter, so it's, see, I'm trying to explain nonsense. You're going to do what you want, and I love that. I'd rather you do what you want, as long as you're not harming anybody. I'd rather you do what you want than me tell you what you could or couldn't do Actually, I can do could or couldn't do. I just steer away from should or shouldn't do, because we don't all any one of us doesn't have the answer. That will be at the end of our lives, and hopefully it's a useful human experience where you do good more than damage. Now, accidentally, you're going to damage people, and that I've done. I quite freely admit I accidentally hurt people because I'm a bit of a loudmouth. I have a tendency to be able to just shoot from the lip. I'm shooting from the lip. That's an album title that I think it was like 4 albums ago, 3 or 4 albums ago, I put out. Um, but a lot of my suggestments are in my music. Some of it's just narrative, some of it's instrumental, but it's nearly always in my music. And I think people are genuinely surprised when they bother to look at and listen to my music, because when I played on Friday night, even the people that I've been hanging out with for the last couple months at this little tiny club called Sunspace, which is wonderful. Even those people were like, "Oh my god, that was that was awesome!" And I'm like, they have checked me out. They obviously, I they checked out some piece, but I mean, I've got hundreds of pieces of music that are out there, so I don't expect anybody to sit there and spend days exploring my music. But you might find one or two things. This is one of the things that I've found myself. It's like people are starting to look up an artist, and then they follow that artist until they make a song that they don't like, and then they stop following that artist. To me, it's the song. It's every song that I listen to. I don't care who the artist is, really. I'll listen to it and I'll be moved by it. The one of the main reasons I can separate the artist from the artwork is I listened to a piece of music when I was a child, and it just resonated with me. It just lifted my spirit. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was beautiful, a beautiful piece of music by Wagner. And then I read who Wagner was and what Wagner believed in and what Wagner's music was used to promote. And I was like, oh shit. Oh no. Yeah. So, but I got past it. I was like, well, if the music resonated with me, I had meaning from that music that gave me a different perspective and perception of what life is, rather than who wrote it. See, we have to understand that association, I associate Wagner's name with Nazis, and it's horrible, right? Because that's how he was portrayed, and I mean, I didn't know him, so whatever, but he may have been coerced, who knows? But the Nazis in World War II, the National Socialist Party, um, and I don't want to go into any of the nonsense about right and left, but the extreme horror of what we know as being the Nazis, uh, and that's a word that's being bandied around now as if, like, you know, I don't. It's again mudslinging. People are mudslinging. One man lost his life recently, and killing is to kill somebody. That's the ultimate, isn't it? That's the ultimate, like, horror. is killing. And yet look around. Why are people killing people? Well, that's terrible. You take somebody's experience, somebody's human experience away from them. That's awful. Awful. So violence in society is something I'm very opposed to, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. If it's, the state, because the state can be controlling, statism. The fact that people are corralled by law enforcement is, what the hell? And it's armed, and they're out there with militarized gear and attacking their own people. This is not the society that I dreamt of. I mean, this is not freedom, you know. But then we don't really truly, I mean, anywhere in the world have true freedom unless we liberate ourselves. We liberate ourselves from the yoke of humanity, and we go, I can make a better world. And if you can't make a better world, then really you should just keep trying to understand how unconditional love already is creating. Nature is already here. We're ruining the thing that supports us. And I don't want to get into any of that, Greta Thunberg and all that stuff. But the truth is, we're not working with nature, we're working against nature. And that means the nature of man too, because it's all inclusive. It's a big responsibility. And we should be taking care of that which we came from and that which we're going to. The Mother Earth, the mothership, whatever you want to call the end of your human experience, you will be continuing in your life expectancy. I mean, I expect to be greeted at the end of my life with the idea that there is a better world, but I can help steer towards that by example and influence whilst in this human experience. And if I don't do it, then I'm lacking responsibility. You see, it's our responsibility. We run everything. There is no government. There is no controller. There is just us. And you're looking for justice in a system of corruption, power, corruption, and lies. Love each other. That's the only answer I can give. Just get out there, understand that, there's a few odd, crazy people, but there's only a few, tiny few. Don't follow them. Follow your heart. Love always wins. I love you. That'll do for today. All right. Happy Mondays. Love you. Listen to my music if you can. Thank you. Bye.